Alright, Shalom. This is a brother from the GMS North Carolina camp back with another video. Before we go any further, we give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakak Badash, the honors to our apostles and others, a great millstone for teaching us the truth, according to the Bible, and rule well. And peace and blessings to those who elect of the nation of Israel. Today through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, basically going to a lesson that according to biblical prophecy, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are scattered into all these different nations and all these different lands, And this is just for the sincere brothers that want to be edified, Without further ado, I'm going to jump straight into the scriptures. This is Baruch chapter 2, verse 28. And as thou spakest by thy servant Moses, in the day when thou didst command him to write thy law before the children of Israel, saying, if ye will not, and this is talking about Deuteronomy 28, verse 50, the blessing and curses in the book of Deuteronomy 28. If you would not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them. Yeah, so what? Yahweh Shema Shai said, if you don't, and we didn't, it's evident, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we've become a small number. But not only that, while we have been scattered, we have Israelites, our brothers who go back to the sea line, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who have been scattered to China, Russia, out there in the Middle East, all these different countries, and through time and process, through generation and generation, they have come to look like these other nations. Even here in America, you have Israelites, who look like so-called white people, because we've been scattered as a nation. I'm gonna read that again. This is Baruch 2:29. If you will not hear my voice, surely this great multitude shall turn into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. Yeah, in the land of our captivities, we are remembering ourselves. Yahweh Shema Shai has woken us up to the truth, And who does this prophecy fit? Who's out there on the highways and byways in the land of their captivity, claiming to be the Israelites, claiming to be the children of the Lord? Only them, starting with apostles and elders of Great Millstone. We got these other Israelites groups claiming to be Israel, but who's pushing the truth? The men of Great Millstone, starting with apostles and elders and the men on down. You got a lot of these camps, they reject Israel being scattered. If Israel doesn't come looking like chaff, they'll reject them. But Israel is as the sand of the sea, and they are scattered throughout all these other nations, all 12 tribes. Verse 30 again. For I knew that they would not hear me, for it is a stiff-necked people. Jacob's hard-headed, and it's evident because we fell on their curses in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, and I believe the 15th verse on down. Lord's willing, I'm gonna get that. But in the land of their captivity they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am the Lord their power, and I will give them a heart and ears to hear, in return from their stiff neck. That was pretty much it. Yeah, and the Lord has given us ears and a heart to hear. I'm going to jump down to Baruch 3:8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us. Yeah, we are still here in the land of our captivity. Brothers who are in these other nations, they are in the land of their captivity as well. Why? Because they're subject to payments. They constantly have to work. Slaves work. So we are slaves here in America and across the four corners of. You got brothers out there in London, Trinidad, Ghana, Puerto Rico, Mexico. You don't think those brothers are slaves? We're all, everyone has a birth certificate. They're slaves under the wicked elites of the so-called white man. The Rothschilds, and all those elite families. Baruch 3:8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us. Yeah, where thou hast scattered us, because we've been scattered among the nations for our disobedience to the Lord, and for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. Yeah. So what? The true Israelites departed from the Lord their power for their disobedience, for their sin waxing strong, waxing great, and basically we fell under the curses, which I'm gonna get, because these curses don't fit anyone else. This is Deuteronomy. I'm gonna jump around a little bit. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to exert and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. But we didn't do that. We didn't hearken diligently. How is that made manifest? Because we are not ruling the planet Earth right now, Their righteousness is what the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the true Israelites, according to the Bible, and the confusion of face brothers who are scattered and in these different nations. What? We are not establishing the law of the Lord. There's not righteousness. The scriptures talk about when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. You see, these people are mourning. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of wicked. We have fallen from the grace of the Lord. And it's proven through the prophecies, us being the land of our captivity, us remembering ourselves in these last days. It's like it, brothers, if I'm talking too much. Verse 15, and it shall come to pass, if thou will not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all of these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Yeah, and all these curses have overtaken us, and come upon us. Verse 45, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Yeah, so what? These curses are a sign of who the Israelites are today. Verse 64, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods. So what? Yahweh Shema Shai said he was going to scatter the children of Israel from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods. Yeah, and you see that, our people are out here serving Buddha, Allah, the so-called white man Jesus Christ, bowing down to that statue in Brazil, which a lot of your brothers, I can't remember the name of it as of right now. But our people are just serving idols, instead of serving the true living power. Why? Because ultimately we discontinue from our heritage. That was the punishment the Lord has set upon us. That's the punishment that the Lord used to punish us with, for lack of better words, for our disobedience, for us breaking the law, statute, commandments of the Bible, and breaking his covenant. But what? We are remembering ourselves in these last days. And it reads, Deuteronomy 28:64, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Yeah, and you see that, the children of Israel, we have been scattered among the nations for our disobedience. Yahweh Shema Shai scattered us, but even with that, the Lord has promised that he will gather us, in these last days, starting with the elect. Which we can go into that. This is give me 1 second. This is St. Matthew's 28 and 20 and 9. This is St. Matthew's 28 verse 19. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you, and lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Amen. Yeah, so what? Yahweh Shema Shai, Lord Yahweh Shai commanded us to go out and to teach all nations. Why did he command us to teach all nations? Because we have been scattered, because we have been we have discontinued from our heritage, and we are amongst all these other nations now. Real quick, this is Tobit 13:3. Confess him. Who's that him? Yahweh Shema Shai, the Heavenly Father, through his only begotten Son. Confess him before the Gentiles. Yeah, where are we confessing the Lord? Out there on the highways and byways, in the chief place of concourse, where all nations are gathered, you know, where all nations are out there buying or saying. You got a little bit of Moab, you got a little bit of Japhet, you got all these different nations gathered in the city of America, in the chief place of concourse, whatever state or whatever great city brothers might be in. I'm not sure if they're called states over there in London, you know, whatever part of London they might be in, or where brothers are at. You know, you got all these different nations being gathered in the chief place of concourse out there in the streets. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them. Yeah, so what? We have been scattered among these other nations. That's why we go out there on the highways and byways, you know? This is St. John. Real quick before I get John. This is James. Let me turn to it, brothers. James 1:1, and it reads, James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahweh Shai, Amashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. You know, that's why the brothers have the 12 tribes sign, you know, which are scattered abroad, you know, because whether the man looks like a so-called Chinese, you know, the Lord is ultimately, if his spirit beareth witness with our spirit, you know, according to the words of this Bible, and if he fits the curses, what? Then he is an Israelite, you know. This is St. John 7:35. Then said the Jews amongst themselves, whither will he go that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed? Yeah, if you look up that word dispersed in the blue letter right here on St. John 7:35, it says the scattered Israelites. So will he go to disperse Israelites among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? And why were they calling them Gentiles? Because they have taken on the customs of the other nations. They have taken on their doctrine. They have been the Lord said basically, if you reject these words, cast them out as a heathen man. So what does they knew back then that what we were already beginning to be scattered, you know? How much more now after the transatlantic slave trade? This is St. John 7:50, 51. I'm sorry, 50. Slakia. St. John 7:50. Nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, talking about Lord Yahushai, and that the whole nation perisheth not. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahushai should die for that nation, and not for that nation only, but that also he shall gather together in one the children of the Most High, which are scattered abroad. Yeah, and real quick, who are the children of the Most High? The nation of Israel. This is Exodus 22 verse Exodus 4 verse 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my firstborn, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. So Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they are the children of the Most High. They're the children of God. This is back in St. John chapter 11, verse 52. And not only for that, and not for that nation only, but that also he shall gather together in one the children of the Most High that are scattered abroad. Yeah, exactly. So what? We are being gathered by the word. You know, the elect are waking up in these last days. You know, Yahweh Shema Shai promised that he would deliver an elect, you know. I'm not going to make this lesson too long. I'm going to get one more scripture and I'm going to close it out. Because there's plenty of scriptures going in how the children of Israel are gathered or scattered. And what? And the Lord is gathering us, you know. The Lord has not forsaken us. The Lord has, is making good on his word and gathering his elect in these last days. You know, that Lord's willing, you brothers were edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. You know, before we go any further, we've all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Radash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of great millstone for teaching us the truth, according to the Bible and rule well, and peace and blessings to all elect of the nation of Israel. Next time we say, Shalom.